The floodlights bearing down on Ironbark Field's main facility for a fixture in which has all the ingredients to not disappoint. Western United host Bentleigh Greens for round 17's feature Victoria Premier League 1 fixture. Live on YouTube, courtesy of the Football Victoria page. My name's Adam Palombi. It's a pleasure to be from the commentary position beneath the grandstand facing the pitch for this encounter between two sides, both on the precipice of a top 4 finish for the season. United in particular, full emphasis on them with a victory in today's encounter. Will jump to second place following the result that occurred last night between Northcote and the Preston Lions. A couple of changes from last week's encounter for United. The home side have opted to use goalkeeper Michael Vonya, the number 70, in between the sticks. Jacob Nasso and Lachlan Grundy are the fullbacks, with a centre-half partnership of Dylan Leonard and James York. The engine room consists of Jordan Luton, Noah Spaseski and Mark Leonard. In attack, Max Bissetto, Abel Watley in the wide areas, with Nicholas Cook as the number 9. Diogo Ferreira getting his players in order. They've had the kick-off and play has commenced. As for the away side, Andrew Withers is in goal. Scott Hillar, the captain, and Thomas Strickland are the fullbacks. James Doyle and Josh Miller, the centre-back partnership. Scott Lockhead, Mitchell Rook and Jay Davies all in the engine room, with Kevin Dover and Menezi Bentleigh as the wingers. Javato Nepomuceno, the number 9. And the flag has been raised early on by the official Angelique Katsalis. Javato looking to get lively early. As for the officials for this twilight game, Jock Quartermain is the main referee. Angelique Katsalis already having some involvement. She's on the commentary side line as United look to infiltrate the opposition early on. Not dealt with. Keeper had to make a save. And the fullback went on a bit of a journey and nearly opened the scoring. It's had quite the feel to it already early on. Quite vocal of both sets of players and managers respectively. It's Jamie Azopardi is the official on the Western United attack. The 4th official, Daniel Fairclough. Already called upon Andrew Withers. Although born in Liverpool, he boasts a New Zealand citizenship. He's had quite the playing career in various parts of the world. Playing in the US, had a stint in Europe, of course, in Sweden, and in his home native country of New Zealand. As another offside flag has gone up for his side in attack. Abandalwa just getting caught offside. Lockhead in that second striker role for the meantime. You can see Dover and Abandalwa just tucking in. As Nepomuceno lets it roll for Dover. Routinely cleaned up by Nasso. As Lowton remained composed. Spin move on display from Spaseski, who tried to evade the pressure. Going to be a busy afternoon, you'd feel as if, for the man in charge out of Jock Quartermain. We notice how Bentley Greens have opted to use their physicality against this rather young-bodied Western United side early on. As the afterburners were applied, and the chance is going to open up here for United. Courtesy of Cook, whose effort was never bothering Withers, who early on has had to be involved. Nepomuceno chests on to Lockhead. Thought about trying his luck. Vonya, without any real threat to his goal, will claim the ricochet. That heavy touch from Hiller meant he had to go earn the ball, and in the crossfire, just stumbling upon Cook. 50-50 ball to be won. And the New Zealand-born international had to make up for the heavy touch. George Katsakis, quite the seasoned veteran across Football Victoria, had quite the tenure with Heidelberg before ultimately making his way across to Bentley. His side, 25 points so far for the season. Bright sparks throughout it. Just talking highly, of course, of the Kurakoan international of Javato Nepomuceno in the pre-game. And the strength he can provide to his attack. As Watterley was just caught offside, wanted to put the afterburners on. He's already causing a couple of headaches. Trying to get in behind the Greens defence. That long ball forward for Dover was intended, but never found its target. As United try carried outside the defensive half. Long ball forward for Cook. Gets his foot onto it. Chance opens up. Watterley. Edge of the area. Steps inside. Have to be cautious. Chip pass over the top. It's a good one too. And it's the opening goal for Western United. Mark Leonard. Instinctive following a brilliant pass played over the top by Jordan Lowton, which unlocked the Bentley Greens defence. It's the Green and Black Army that take the lead early in this contest. Diogo Ferreira. Contempt with his side, who started very lively. Brilliant ball by Lawton to carve out the opportunity. And they had a couple of chances early on in which they've finally taken. Andrew Withers, certainly not a goalkeeper that can be beaten easily. There's not much you could do about the finish from close range. Just as we're about to start to dissect the Bentley Greens for their 2024 campaign. Their last victory carrying back was a home victory against Brunswick City, 3-1 back on the 10th of May. They had completed a 0-0 draw against Melbourne Victory, who are at the top of the summit in the final fixture of May, roughly 8 days ago. Not the start I'm sure George Katsakis was looking for. But his players certainly possess the arsenal to get themselves back in the contest. And that effort dispatched with intent, but not exactly the power required to get it beyond the returning Michael Vonya. As for the home side, it's exactly the start they're after. Last night at John Cain Memorial in the heart of Darebin, Northcote hosted the Preston Lions, in whom it was a 1-1 draw to finish off the contest. Either side could be separated on that occasion. And it's left the door wide open for United to jump both of those teams. And 33 points if the scores remain the same, although there's quite the chunk of football left. And still ample time in which you're going to find George Katsakis' side will formulate a response within. $51 goals for this season, 28 conceded. They have all the arsenal. And they're in again, not dealt with. Looking for a second perhaps on the edge of the box. They get the shot away. Spaseski fell to him. Leonard tried his luck for his second in quick succession. As United have a corner. Vitali, patient. Diogo Ferreira's side have the Bentley Greens right where they want them. So Watley off his left delivers towards the central region of the box, not dealt with entirely. Bentley clean up and get it cleared. Full emphasis on pushing up and trying to force an issue in the heart of midfield. Fine pressure applied. Nepomuceno making a forward run. He's going to receive. Not lost in the floodlights. Well read by Dylan Leonard. Who's in possession. Gets the ball onto Grundy. Free kick awarded to United, so they move it quickly. And momentum tangible. Lowton with such an exquisite pass to really open up the Bentley Greens following the effort dispatched by Leonard, which opened the scoring. Much emphasis on it. It was a fantastic ball over the top. As the Greens, well, tried something heading forward, and it's rather an unusual tactic opted by their number 28. As the touch is heavy, but it that's for West intervention wide, making up a lot of ground. It's Mark Leonard, who ran out of real estate. Got to keep the ball in play. So work it all the way back to the keeper. Heavy press being applied by Kieran Dover. Stockton on tees, born and bred in County Durham, England. Started his career at Peterborough United. 25 caps for Woking in the Conference South League in England, which is roughly their 7th tier of football. He's now made himself quite the fixture for Bentley. So try own possession. United keeping it rather well at the moment. Dispossessed was Jay Davies. The idea was bright. Bentleigh not on the same wavelength from the provocative pass dispatched by Spasevsky. As they've drawn the foul. Josh Milliard. Plays a very poor pass. Trying to find Scott Hillier, another New Zealand born and bred boy who's nearly into the full age of 30. United so far have had all the answers. Bentley really unable to place a pass. And looking very patient in this area to try carve them open. And here's United, they're in for their second. Tremendous save. Andrew Withers had to get across. Finally executed the move. They were patient, they took their time. Nearly made it pay full dividends for the home side, who are firmly in front of this contest at the moment. Cross comes in. Watley, not his best delivery. It's flung back into the area. Andrew Withers at the moment, the only bright spark in this Bentley Green side that haven't exactly turned on yet. Bentleigh takes over. Low cross comes in. Hillier. Heavy press from United. Greens trying to evade it. They can't do so at the moment. Lowton lofted. Hadn't won the ball. Nepomuceno lurking forward. Dover couldn't play the pass. It's rather careless. Quartermain jostled across as if he was going to pull something out of his front pocket. Diogo Ferreira having a chat to the fourth official. He believes that was firmly a yellow card. Bentleigh's free kick. Placed nicely into the box. Messina tried a low clearance. Flung up high again. Greens just can't seem to evade the pressure. Leonard gets beyond his marker. Nasso. Cross not dealt with. Cook gets his header away, following the ball bobbling up towards him. Haven't exactly seen much occur in terms of the attacking display from the Greens. Have had to withstand this pressure, and they could be in yet again. Nice intent on the cross. That was well shaped in by Watali. He's been very lively early on. Cook just not able to get a foot onto it. As Nepomuceno was nipping at the heels following his possession. Leonard makes a fine run in behind. Cook in the box. He could be in here. Strong defending displayed from Milliar. Had to be in front of the Western United attacker. The alarm bell's perhaps already ringing for George Katsakis' side. They're unable to withstand any of the pressure at the moment. You feel as if this is where they have to start to gain territory. As Davies tried to go on a little run through the heart of midfield. Turns over play. Hilliard couldn't loft to prevent the pass. Getting to Watali, his cross flung in, not dealt with. Leonard's in here. The chance propped up for the man in whom, at the moment, is in all the kinds of positions the opposing side don't want you to be in. Mark Leonard, well, though showcasing composure for the first finish. Wasn't much on display there in his effort. Very central for Withers to weather. Quite the facility being built out here in the heart of Tarneet, which United are looking to boast into their future, establishing themselves to be prominent. As that's a nice ball in. Nepomuceno at the near posts. Might have had it diverted away by Naso across the face of his own goal. As Quartermain's initiated the corner. Davies will want to whip this one in. Quite synonymous with Green Gully out of Jay Davies. His cross flung in towards the near post. Cleared away pretty quickly. As Quartermain's noticed something in the build-up. As United player just slow to get back to his feet. So the drop ball called by Quartermain. Davies spreads wide. Hilliard takes it first time. It's a helicopter ball, which Nepomuceno acknowledges the idea from the captain. So Watali and Bisetto trading wings, trying to cause some confusion for both Strickland and Hilliard. Milliar lofting towards Kieran Dover, who just keeps it in. Oh, Angelique Katsals in a better position than I am to signal the ball just trickling out of play. So now Bentley trying to lock in side their attacking half. They've slowly started to weather the United possession. Davies gets it moving. Getting stuck in the attacking third was the ball, which finally bobbled towards Vonya. Perhaps too many chefs in the kitchen, making bad soup. So you can still see Lockhead just becoming the second striker. That's a great ball over the top. Watali might be onto this. Cook's in here. It bubbles and it's cleared just off the line. There was jeers for a handball. Brilliantly weighted pass over the top. Watali strides onto it. And he remains in the box as Bisetto couldn't keep that alive. Prior to that play culminating, we're touching on the Bentley Greens and the way they've got their shape for the evening. They tend to have Lockhead playing as that second striker. Almost like a 4-2-1-3, which transitions into a 4-4-2. In that offensive shape, as Watali just bumped off it by Lockhead. It's another free kick for United. We'll get the ball moving quickly. York. Grundy, fine pass. Flag stays down. Bisetto, edge of the area, fists across the face of goal. They call for a handball. All up in arms are the United officials and players. They were agonisingly close to their second. They might not have the penalty in which they're protesting, but they will have a corner. And you feel like, with the momentum, they're starting to shift back in their favour. They've got all the ingredients to find it from this corner piece. Watali has short options, utilises it with Bisetto, receives it back. Spaseski plucks it at the sky, gets beyond his marker. Still has possession, Spaseski. Davies brilliantly manufactured that bit of skill from Lawton. Fantastic to, well, carve them open. They've got their towels up here. Recycled all the way back to Leonard. Pass dealt with by Hilliard in the heart of defence. He's gone across the face of goal. Intelligent play. Evading the pressure for now by Strickland, who draws the foul. Withers just kicking and hoping. No one home. As Dover. Grundy gets the better of him. Dover gets it back. Runs out of space. Leonard's happy to go back to the keeper. It hasn't exactly been tested yet, the Michael Vonya. Everything being rather routine. Watali hits the deck. Looks like he might be in a bit of discomfort. Strickland just perhaps getting too tight. You can hear the anguish he might have been in, the player on the deck at the moment, all the way from the commentary position. As he's back up on his feet. Nepomuceno draws the foul, which York concedes. They want to move it quickly. At least that was the intent. Hilliard is very wide and on his own, and he has his hands up. He wants possession. West United have settled back in defensive shape as Nepomuceno couldn't control towards Lockhead, who's trying to earn possession back. With United back into it. Vonya rolls to his centre back. There's some wide options. Grundy with acres of space if they can transition towards his region. Watali coming deeper to receive the ball. Grundy's out wide. Leonard opted to go back to his centre half. Ball over the top from York. Bissett on the edge of the area. Trying to get his shot right. Ventures in the box. Gets his turn away. Can he keep his feet? It falls to Lawton. Chance still remains alive. Cook with the follow-up. How exciting are this Western United side? When it fell to Jordan Lawton, it felt as if the net was going to ripple. Withers had to be sharp. He denied the first and second effort. But there's a corner forthcoming. Near post, unmarked free header. Mark Leonard should have made it too. All on his own. The men in the engine room have... He's accumulating that more attacking role in the midfield. Not just accumulating the role, but starting to really relish within it. That could have been his and United's second. Watali's crosses are rather dangerous. They always manage to find a player in a green and black shirt. As Nepomuceno tried using his body to allow the ball to bobble towards Bentleigh. Bissett gets a bounce his way. Nassau tried playing a incisive pass. Withers, with his experience, uses the full length of his box and gets it back in his jurisdiction. Fine throw too from the keeper. Bentleigh. Lockhead. Hilliard finds Dover, who ventures central. Trying to find some comfort perhaps in possession now. Haven't seen much of a spell from them yet, the Bentley Greens. As Nepomuceno gets around one and plays the ball nicely. Davies. Givado now coming more deeper to receive possession. Hasn't done much. I'm sure the intent was to play him in behind. As Bissett, all ball, says Quartermain. Lockhead. Shot could be dispatched. As Lawton cleans up intelligently. Perhaps the chance for a counter. Watali had forward runners, with Leonard making some movement into the space he had in front of him. A sensible option, you could argue, was utilised. Now it's United back in possession. Nassau made an overlapping run. Bissett in a wide area. Flag is going to stay down until the commentator's curse come to full fruition. And it was issued by the linesman for an offside on Bissett. Nepomuceno finds Lockhead. Not really much on for him. He tries to move the pawns up the chessboard. Messino in a wide area, had to really try loft to get onto the floating pass, which wasn't executed adequately enough. Quite the player in career, Javato Nepomuceno has experienced. The Curacao international, 31 years of age, 50 appearances for Curacao, 8 goals within that time as Cook nearly opened the gates. Finally crafted from Leonard. Couldn't get the rub off the green. As Lawton. Watali, Leonard. Back to Lawton, who's patient in possession. Goes back to York, who gets moving to Leonard. Every Western United player, bar the goalkeeper, inside the attacking half. They look so composed in possession, withstanding the pressure. Quite the display. Lawton, he's been nearly impeccable. I don't believe he's misplaced a pass within the contest. So that incisive one was targeted for Cook, which Leonard thought he might have had free range. Offside flag being issued yet again by the linesman. Messino draws the foul. Quick footnote on Javato once more. So quite the experience as a footballer, playing across Romania, Portugal, the Netherlands and England. His more recent international venture was with Bulgaria before signing for the Melbourne Knights and finding some football in Australia. It's his first season as a Bentley Green. And the net on 2 occasions. Out of the 15 he's played so far. Also has had quite the futsal experience with Series Futsal. Become quite the prominent player for FC Carlton Heart on a Friday night when not representing the Bentley Greens. Not too far away from half-time. Lawson hasn't misplaced a pass yet. And United have strutted their stuff, you could argue. Leonard's delivery, not dealt with, remains alive. Bisetto just couldn't control it and dispatch it the way he would have intended to. And you feel like they're really knocking on the door. You wonder the approach from George Katsakis upon half-time. Side have really made a task of trying to withstand the pressure. They do boast quality, which has been showcased in games throughout the season. They're not really holding their own at the moment. Withers playing a very questionable pass, which put Davies under some pressure, which for now they're able to withstand. So you wonder perhaps a change in formation, a change of emphasis in attack. Whether or not they try to go a bit more direct. They've not exactly utilised their wide players out of Dover and Bentleigh. Meanwhile, Watali is going to get onto the end of this. He awaits the cavalry, twisting, turning, but not finding a teammate or anything tangible. Positive, perhaps, display so far would be from the keeper, out of Withers. As Dover shifts gears, does well to get the pass to the captain. Now Nepomuceno. He loves these situations, Javato. Lockhead, heavy touch. Leonard tried to get in his way. Lockhead got his shot away. which Vonya had no issue with claiming. Grundy, fine first time pass to Bisetto. He goes inside, trying to pick out Leonard. The ball bounces, and now Cook could be in. The flag will go up. And you felt as if the ball might have ricocheted off of the Bentley Green centre half, which would have kept Cook onside. As the Greens with Dover. Hilliard ventures backwards. Doyle. Strickland. Back to Doyle. Millier. Millier out wide. His touch might have let him down, but he keeps the ball in play with Dover. Leonard interpreting the attacker's movements, gets around him. Lockhead reads the space well. Using the full length. Few ball rolls to evade the pressure. Ball crossed in. A creative play from Scott Lockhead, utilising the ball rolls to get himself out of that tight situation. The cross was never really intended for either Nepomuceno or Avandaloa, who were at the back post. As Vonya ventured for Watali. Comes off his head. Dover traps it. Grundy applies some pressure. Leonard got his foot onto it. Now Watali. He's been very lively, very dangerous. Trying to get beyond two Bentley Green shirts. Using his body, trying to draw the foul. Quartermain reads the situation. Now Nepomuceno. Controls finally. Oh, makes it nearly a task, which they've managed to withstand. Now Davies. Dover. Half-time not too far away. Haven't exactly been a handful of stoppages, so you wouldn't expect too much added time. As long ball forward. It's going to nearly bounce for Abandalwa. He anticipated the bounce, just couldn't get luck on his side. As that ball's made its way over the grandstands and, well, into the roadworks behind Ironbark Fields. Diogo Ferreira will be very happy upon half time. He might even ask a couple of questions as to how the lead hasn't been extended. The Greens have married into the contest. They were caught napping at the start. They haven't exactly been able to showcase the football they're capable of playing. As Lawton, there's his misplaced pass. It's finally occurred from the number 10. Bisetto gets around his marker of Strickland. Tries earning the corner. Start with in defence. And the clearance made its way towards Abandawa. Leonard. Bisetto gets it moving. Cross comes in. Leonard takes a touch. Bit heavy. Clearance finally made. Grundy takes over. Crosses in. No intent. But they earn a corner. Deep in this first half. Batali to cross. You can see Cook on the edge of the box. At the near post was Bisetto. Mark Leonard in the central region of the box, with Dylan Leonard in support. Batali's cross towards the near posts. Not one of his best, in fairness. Flag's going to go up. Batali offside. Nepomuceno flicks on. Now perhaps a late chance on the cards. Amendola crosses in. Dover takes a touch. Davies didn't have much time upon the effort, but was very tame in truth. It bounced on its way in, and Vonya was able to claim with no qualms about it. It's York steps beyond Nepomuceno. And now Javado's into some space. He tries to run onto it. The keeper interprets the play well. Vonya sends another ball out the ground. Not short on essentials. Western United. So if you like, the board will go up very soon to indicate how much stoppage time we might have. Fourth official having a look on his watch. As Dylan Leonard. Fine pass to Watali. Now on the right wing. Naso with the overlap, he's going to receive. The pass, not a good one in truth. Which was dealt with and cleans up. Nepomuceno trying to flick on. Lawton, composed, controls, board's gone up for 2 minutes. Is there a late twist to the first half tail? As Vonya judges the bounce. Haven't seen Nepomuceno come to life yet. As Leonard's been full of life, he's played it for Bisetto, who's going to receive. Grundy, an option also, Bisetto. Looking to use the space. He thinks he's earned a corner. Hilliard showcasing his experience, just not allowing Max to make further inroads. As you feel as if this might be the final action of the first half. Withers, Hilliard lofted, as did Dover. Bisetto. Lawton has such a distinct vision of the game in which he's showcasing to its highest capacity this evening. So much grace and poise, the way he conducts his business on a football pitch. That can all be symbolised in the assists he provided to Mark Leonard, who got the scoring opened for Western United. As Quartermain has a look at his watch. Might be one last forward move for Bentley Greens. I'd have to go quick, you'd assume. Over the top towards Dover. Not going to get there. And that's going to be half-time. Western United symbolising why they're the position they're in on the table. And if the result remains the same, they'll be jumping in to second place ahead of both Preston and Northcote City. All to do in the second half for the Bentley Greens, who haven't exactly come to life yet. A full onus on the managerial brilliance of George Katsakis. See if he can weather the Western United storm. Half-time at Iron Bark Fields. Western United 1, Bentley Greens 0. we're back for the second half with a full emphasis on how the Greens are going to respond. And they're already on the back foot as Watali crosses in. From the kickoff, he felt as if they were trying to execute something long over the top, and it hasn't gone the way intended. As Lockhead goes for Nepomuceno, who got going. It remains just alive until the foul was committed by Lockhead upon Nassau. They wanted a yellow card, they never received it. So you still have a question mark as to how they're going to find a response. The Bentley Greens United would want to put this contest well and truly out of dispute and ensure that they move into second place, currently held by the Lions. As Cook turns brilliantly, he's one-on-one with the keeper, goes around him, but not around Miller. The last line of defence had to be tall. Very direct play on display from Western United. They infiltrated straight down the guts. It's quite the turn from their number 9, Nicholas Cook. Was close to finding their second. So Watali's cross was poor but difficult to deal with at the expense of another corner. Options in the centre, all trying to crowd Andrew Wither's goal. Cross flung in. Keeper happy to pluck it out the sky and claim. Hillier. Nepomuceno, chests. Dover doesn't have much to play with, so he's sent forward. Finally done from Lowton. That's been said a few times today. York. One to Bissetto. It's going to go all the way back to the keeper. Fonya's ball. Back to Spaseski. Now Watali. Cook trying to get in behind the lines. As he kept striding. The captain commits the foul. Watali was well and truly away from Scott Hillier, who's been issued a yellow card. So a free kick forthcoming. Lowton and Watali both behind it. They're not too far out, you know. They might just test their luck. It would take something beyond the top shelf to beat Withers from that distance. As the cross is flung in. Back post was Leonard. He flicks on. It's come in off the crossbar and it's got in. Max Bissetto, the goal scorer. Was never dealt with in truth by the Bentley Greens. And they're made to pay immensely by an unrelenting Western United side, who in similar fashion to the first half, find a goal in the second in quick fashion. Time had stood still upon Bissetto's final touch, which just crept over the line, hit the bar and bounced in. Diogo Ferreira, I'm sure, although not visible, his smile will be gleaming, given the performance his side have exhibited there, worthy of a 2-0 lead. As Nassau gets it moving, Bisetto. This cross is not going to find anybody, but the passage was rather neat, which allowed for the cross. Bentley's last loss was against Langwarrin at home. A 2-1 result not going their way. Of course, Langwarrin on that occasion were leading for the half-time break. As for their last fixture, prior to their clash against Victory, which was a 0-0 draw, they were back at Kingston Heath Soccer Complex for a 2-2 draw against the FC Bulleen Lions, which at half-time was 1 apiece. They're closing out to be a 2-2 contest. Langwarrin, of course, in 6th position on 24 points. So the Greens have to find something, and they might just here. Striding into space was their number 9. Bit of Abandelwa, who was deceptive. He's lost his footing. Wanted the penalty. Chuck Quartermain. Never saw any contact from a United player. As Nipamacino trying to apply some pressure. Davies slides. Prevents the pass from reaching Mark Leonard. Nassau, Lawton scans the space and infiltrates in towards it. He continues his run. He might go solo. Tantalising. The distinctive player. Van Delaware couldn't get the pass away to Lockhead. Great ball towards Watali. Keeper's come off his line, and Watali makes it 3. Abel Watali seals the deal for Western United. Quite the performance they've showcased so far. A player fitting of being on the scoreboard. Watali, when he was greeted with the opportunity that was in front of him, the coolest man in the place, to just guide the ball beyond Andrew Withers, who was in between a rock and a hard place. As are the Bentley Greens. They're trailing by 3 goals now, with United looking to make a statement. And it's fitting from a side in whom boasts quite the attacking pedigree. And they're hungry for more as they venture forward. Cook was trying to run into some space, following the pass from Spaseski. Now perhaps a chance. Dover goes central. They spread it out wide. Strickland's finds shape in the cross. Reach Dover. Grundy will intervene. Movement forward. Watali trying to get beyond the captain. Confronted by the press of Davies also. Goes very firmly in for the ball. All in good competitive nature. From Jay Davies, the Dagenham boy from England. 88 caps for Green Gully. It's been the club's most successful spell. 2016 to 2021. It's been back for a little time now. Amongst the club he's well intertwined with. Finally retrieved by Bentleigh. Got there in the end. And now Dover, edge of the box, has options. Just couldn't pick either of them out. Both Nepomuceno and Lockhead are in the box. As Dover tries his luck again. Confident keeping from Vonya, who throws quickly. Bisetto. Well timed to the challenge from Davies. He comes away with the ball and earns it back. And that's the fight in which Bentley had to show from the offing. Wasn't exactly evident upon the start of the contest. As you can see, we've got a couple of players ready to enter the field. You wonder who's going to make away. Perry Lambropoulos is amongst one of the potential two changes. With Lars Anton Caninder. Got the black gloves on tonight. Also looking to get some match minutes. Spaseski using his body. Leonard's going to interpret the long pass. Dover pressing high, but much too narrative so far. United just so composed in possession. Despite the heavy press in which the Greens are trying to exercise at the moment. Going back towards the keeper now finally, who clears long. Bisetto does well to loft and earn the header. Leonard couldn't latch on. Lockhead kept going. Now Davies ricochets his way. Strickland. Lockhead couldn't shift towards Bentleigh. Out of frustration. The late challenge from Lockhead, but plays continued. Spaseski shifting gears. Watali trying to get round his marker. Hilliard just preventing that for the meantime. So there might be a quadruple change issued by George Katsakis. Christian Carvalho amongst the potential changes, as was Benjamin Bowler. Still see the Western United boys to the corner of my right eye, warming up. That's a brilliant pass from Lowton. Just catching the attention. As Leonard can't jump beyond the tackle. Cook couldn't thread the needle through. Davies thought about going long. It could be a switch if they can transition. Strickland Now a chance. Nepomuceno has options. Javado goes towards Dover. It's a fine pass. Dover thought he'd test his luck and try and get the keeper caught off guard at his near post, which Wanya was never bothered. But here's what's set to be a quadruple change. Christian Carvalho has his number on the board as Javado Nepomuceno makes way. He never really got into tonight's contest. So Nepomuceno Josh Milliar and a couple more will be yet to confirm have been resided to the bench. Christian Carvalho in a full-back position. So they couldn't evade the double press. And the Greens earn a free kick. Leading the line at the moment was Lars Anton Kaninda, who's led early. Takes a heavy touch right in front of his manager. And is dispossessed. Couldn't judge the rub of the green. Lawton shifts beyond the gears. It looks as if Jay Davies might be pulling up a lane. As the ball over the top towards Cook. Katsalis with the flag raised. As Bowler gets it back in the engine room. Lockhead. And again, the big man up top at the moment for the Greens in the right positions. Canondia just couldn't get the right touch when in possession. As United now looking to make a substitute in their own right. With Vickery ready to have his influence on the contest. So they're deep in their defensive half. Lawton. And back towards Abel Watali. Canendia. Davies. He's taken out the hair tie. Flowing more freely now. His hair. He's hoping that can be representative of the Bentley Greens football. On ball over the top. Finally controlled. And crossed in. Lockhead. Crosses in. Chances here for Bentley Greens, which they take with two hands. Quite the move capped off by the fullback turned winger. Thomas Strickland pulls one back. Can't exactly say it's been coming. But full credit to Lockhead, who the initial bounce in the play wasn't exactly judged the way I'm sure he would have intended. He made do with the tools he had in front of him. And the, well, looping cross to Thomas Strickland was pristine, in whom he dispatched first time. Nothing Vonya could have done about that. The placement, far too accurate into the bottom right corner. So the quadruple change currently looking like it could pay off for some dividends as Canondia's offside, flag's been raised. And the double change to follow for Western United. Quite the night in which it's been showcased by Noah Spaseski. He's been called to the bench. This is their most recent goal scorer of Abel Watali. with Luke Vickery and Oscar Tannick. Vickery on the left, and Tannick in the heart of midfield. Humble over the top, Canondia controls, and he had Strickland in so much space. It's not able to be found. Bentleigh, Strickland the only option in the box. He had to cross despite the pressure. As Lockhead just got in the way, it bounced off him. As for Anton Kinanta, born in Barslov, Sweden, began his youth career with Helsingborgs IF. Had a stint in the top flight of Victorian football for the Altona Magic before joining the Knights in 2023. Another player poached by Katsakis. As the cross comes in, and all of a sudden, the Greens have come to life. Perhaps a quadruple change. Maybe the jolt required. Abdulwana hits the turf. Thought he might have had the foul. Now Vickery has the fresh legs. Another ball's gone. That's a hat-trick of balls just sent out of the facility. That one not so much. It's actually rolled back in. Trying to press the tired legs. As Lambropoulos just launched that ball out of play. It's a free kick for United. Eventually all the way back to their keeper. Different complexion. As Jay Davies now accumulating that second striker role when they're not in possession, and he's pressing firmly. Lowton composed, first time pass. United evade the pressure, and there's options plentiful. Vickery's one of them. Lambropoulos there to confront him. Vickery went on his own, but couldn't keep the shot down. So you've now seen Scott Hilliard move into the right centre-back position, with Lambropoulos accumulating the right-back role in which the captain started the game at. Tanich in the engine room, getting stuck in early. Moves it out wide. Grundy. Leonard looking to take the sting out the play. James York. So the Greens having their best spell, which is slowly being weathered by United. Ball searching forward for Vickery. Lambropoulos underneath it. Bowler. And back to the substitute who won't be very impressed with his efforts there, having flung it thin air to try make contact with the ball. Davies interprets well. Kaninta, who's only forward prospect. James York. Lowton. Lofts over the top. Flag's going to stay down. Ambropoulos with his fresh legs, just not allowing Cook to latch onto a pass. It's Vickery. Gets the ball out wide. Nassau. Bisetto. Lockhead with some pressure. Bisetto has two Bentley green shirts he has to get around, which he couldn't manufacture. Long ball over the top. Grundy reads it well. Lowton draws the foul. Of course, Jordan Lowton had represented Western United on the grand stage in the A-League. The 21-year-old. Featured off the bench after 65 minutes played against Western United's clash against Sydney FC back in February. And in doing so, Lawson became the 4,000th player to feature in the Men's National League in Australia, dating all the way back to the inception of the NSL in 1977. I'm sure it's not the last we'll see of Lawton on Australia's grand stage. Showcasing so much poise with the way he goes about it. Not so much in that play. Commentators curse the full effect. Lockhead. Lawson does well. Gets possession back. Tanich with it. Well, it was Leonard with a heavy pass. So the Sting slowly just being sapped out of the engine room in which United have been boasting. As Bowler told to hit it. Lockhead. Run it arrived from Strickland, who was in so much space. He's not happy at it received. Bisetto takes the game on. And that has sent quite the animated response from the Western United bench. Bisetto got around one. Couldn't go around the other. And he was cleaned up. And he still remains on the deck, so they've called upon their physio. James Doyle just keeping his presence certainly felt. Come from downtown to get stuck into Bisetto, who's also had quite the matchup tonight. So Ethan Timmins just checking on Max Bisetto at the moment. It's quite the stat we unravelled. in the 25 minutes he played against Sydney FC in Hobart. Upon his A-League debut, 12 out of 18 passes completed successfully for Lawton in a 2-2 contest, which was a stalemate between both United and Sydney FC on that occasion. I'm sure John Aloisi is watching on this evening. Be happy to see quite the ceiling in which this young United side boasts. As it remains on the edge of the box, Leonard lurking, clearance was made. Grundy just using his body to keep the ball at an arm's length from Bentleigh. Tanic gets it moving. Bisetto opted to get his shot away. Now Nassau. Bisetto. Lawton has a scan of the play. Opts to go all the way back to his centre back. That of Dylan Leonard, who recycles back to the keeper. Grundy just not able to keep the ball in play. Took his eye off it. Now another substitute. It's their 5th. As Jay Davies makes way. Looked as if he might have been nursing a bit of an injury. Or a bit of discomfort rather than not an injury. A bit extreme. So Joffrey Leno, his replacement. He's been deployed at left wing. So many changes to the shape from George Katsakis. As the give and go was the option from Cavallo. Now Strickland couldn't pick out the substitute. Tried something audacious to deceive everybody. Ambropoulos wouldn't allow Vickery any real estate. His cross a high one. No one's really settled for it. The keeper, in the nick of time, jumped up and claimed it and sent it very long. Leonard, fine touch. To pluck it out the sky. It was rather strange that the keeper took his time in getting up. For a moment, it looked like Cananda might have been underneath it. As his options arising here. Bisetto with a heavy touch. Christian Cavallo had to get involved. Striking chance! And the crossbar is still rattling from an effort deceptive by Vickery. Meanwhile, at the other end, it sort of came from nowhere. And that surely would have been in contention for goal of the round. What an effort from the substitute. He put everything behind that effort. The power bar was shot to 5. As both sets of Western United players and Bentley Green players momentarily just perhaps getting stuck in with cramp. Max Bisetto. That's enough for him this evening. He gets quite the ovation from the home supporters. Campbell Dovison, his replacement. Cross comes in, dealt with by Lowton. They look to counter. Cook. Isolated. Ambropoulos comes across and gets possession back with Bentleigh. Doyle. Lofting and reaching their header was Canondia, who's lashed onto his own headed pass. Bowler couldn't control. Dovison draws the foul. Couple of disputes occurring left and right, all in which the referee's been accustomed to this afternoon out of Jock Quartermain. Daniel Faircloth having a chat with Katsakis in relation to that play. It looked as if the advantage might have been executed. All for the ball to be called back. As the keeper plays a nice ball over the top. They could be latching onto this. It still remains alive, the chance. They keep their feet and play the advantage. But in the crossfires of that play, Grundy on the receiving end of what was an overzealous attempt of trying to win possession. United continued, and they didn't want to call it back for the free kick. It looked very late. It all happened in quick succession. They have a corner. Clearance had to be made off the line to prevent the fourth goal occurring. As we're running out of match balls. Fourth official had to pull one out of the little dugout on the United bench. As Vickery, know what his right boot's capable of. He crosses in. Not dealt with yet by anybody. It bubbles, remains, but not been able to be put through. That's where the away side haven't been comfortable this afternoon in interpreting and defending crosses. As United, we're trying to transition quickly. Now it's just a matter of back and forth. Plucked out the sky by Grundy. Leonard. That might be yet another match ball that actually hasn't been lost yet. It's going to reside in the away stand. So the score's 3-1. With United having a couple of chances to make it 4-1. It's Cavallo. Shallow cross, not controlled. And they would have been off to the rafters, having that ball being played in behind. As credit to Strickland. It's really stretched to keep it alive. Lawton, fine pass. And now the substitute using his fresh legs. Gets the ball in behind to Cook, who's offside, but full credit to Campbell Dovison. He awaited that run. It was intelligent play. It's unfortunate for United that their striker just not on the same wavelength. He's in possession now, Cook. With the reinforcements arriving, Lawton making a run into space. Vickery going to receive. Lambropoulos cautious of what he can provide. As Vickery went across the face of goal. Nobody home for United. So not far away, you'd feel. Contests nearly all said and done with United. Happy to accumulate second position. Of course, it's not over until it's concrete. It's Canondia. Quite isolated, crosses in. There's a fine shape on the cross. Nobody home. But now Vickery. United looking to counter with intent. Dovison just keeps it in. And makes it a task, which he receives back. Credit to the opposing manager and Katsakis, who made himself small as the play ventured towards him. Of course, you've seen throughout the years across all codes of football, managers just intervening with players and things getting a little bit comedic or unsavoury. As the Greens have a chance. Bentleigh, his bowler. Back to the number 9, who dances, has a lot of people around him, gets it back on the edge of the area, gets the shot away finally. It was never testing Vanya in goal. He was off balance upon dispatching it. Bentleigh. That basically encapsulates the night that has been for the Bentley Greens. Who are back under the floodlights next Friday. They make their way to John Cain Memorial Park to face Northcote City. As for United, it's going to be their 10th win of the season. They're up against the Eastern Lions at Egan Lee Reserve, 3 o'clock. For the round 18 fixture. And the Eastern Lions currently sat in 11th place. I'll be watching this contest and perhaps preparing to keep things defensively tight. Given the esteemed nature of United's attack. This bowler might get it back, trying to be fluid in the final third. Vickery, Nassau wants the long pass. Dovison. You can hear Jock Quartermain just calling for the sub, which is going to occur now. The number 9, Nicholas Cook, making way. He might feel as if he's not too pleased with his performance, given he hadn't scored, but it was definitely causing headaches for the Bentley Greens. Pair of centre halves, and created the space which the players around him were able to relish in. Cross is dealt with, it falls to Lockhead, who sprays it towards goal. Confirmation on the substitute for Western United. Alex Hurd is the number 9 of Nicholas Cook's replacement. Not much time left in this contest. You can see the 4th official ready to put the board up. 5 minutes set to be the added time. Although there might not be enough time for some late drama, there could be time for a consolation or a further exclamation point issued by the home side. As the Greens tried a deep cross. 5 minutes now, all set and confirmed in stone. As Hurd gets his foot onto it nicely, it's going to open up. Lowton, brilliant timing and judgment of the pass. Leonard's flag stays down, no, it goes up. Dovison offside. Home support aren't happy with it. Leonard trying to get his foot onto it. Using the tired legs as Alex Hurd nearly got a touch. Canondia, nice nutmeg. And chance opens up. The idea was bright. That's the Greens who are pressing up. Now it's United, they want to counter. Tanich couldn't go around the wall of Doyle. What can the Greens find late on? Trying to just find some space as Manis Avandalua, who had the far post on, could have dispatched. Perhaps just trying to carve out a more adequate angle. Born on December 31st in 1999, he's technically a 90s boy. As Hurd gives a match ball to the facilities. Heavy press. Now it's going to open up. Ball played brilliantly over the top by Hurd. Now Vickery settles his feet. Chance still remains alive. Tanich, can he get his shot away? He gets past one, gets past two, and the substitute makes it 4. All the composure in the world. Game, set, match. Western United are going to be second place in the Victorian Premier League 1 ladder after 17 rounds of football played. Wraps up the show. Full testament to the way in which Diogo Ferreira and their football program conducts their business. Not much the keeper could do yet again. The finishes have been of the highest order. And they're looking for more. And they could be in yet again. Cavallo had to ensure the pass hadn't reached Hurd. As Dovison trying to get onto the pass. It, for a second, looked as if it wasn't dealt with properly. But quite the night it has been for Western United at their newly furbished facility here in the heart of Tarneet. Of course, with the grand ambitions for the playing surface this evening to be their training facility and their proper stadium to open up just where the car park currently is situated. Club certainly on the precipice of becoming quite the staples in Australian football, as Hurd just wasn't found by a very selfless Nassau, who potentially could have gone alone. He's back in possession. Is there one last chance? Tanich takes a ball roll, gets it off for Vickery, who keeps his run going. Lambropoulos ushers out of play as Jock Quartermain sets it in stone. A compelling contest between two of the VPL 1's contending teams at the top ends of the table. Shows Western United, the home side, win the contest in rather grand fashion. From the off, Bentley Greens had never exactly gotten underway in the contest. Back to the drawing board for them. As for the home side, second place. That's going to wrap up our coverage of this Victorian Premier League fixture on Football Victoria's YouTube channel. Full-time score, Western United 4, Bentley Greens 1. We appreciate you joining us for this featured VPL 1 match, and we hope that there's more forthcoming in the later rounds. I've been Adam Palombi. We appreciate your time. Join us next week for more football across the state. Thank you and enjoy the Saturday night.